Hey, how you doing? Alex here. Thanks for joining me. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the new school that is transitioning from Division 2 to Division 1 in the next year. I wanted to put them on your radar just in case you are interested in them athletically, academically, geographically, all of those things. I know a lot of us are trying to play at the highest level that we possibly can. A lot of us are going after Division 1, so there's going to be some opportunities with this transition from D2 to D1 with roster spots available and all of that good stuff. So we're going to talk about them. We're also going to talk about the new college recruiting class rankings that just came out from Perfect Game. Every year they put out a rankings, and it's kind of fun to see where certain schools fall in these rankings. And as a former college coach, we would pay attention to these again just to see kind of where we fall. It's kind of fun. A lot of the rankings and numbers honestly don't really mean anything, but again, it's fun to see where these schools fall. So if you get anything from this video, or if you have some fun with me here, please smash that like button, that thumbs up right down here, subscribe, and you guys can subscribe on the podcast as well. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Alex Swinson. I'm a former Division I college coach, scout, and recruiter. And now what I do is put out weekly videos like this and on podcasts to help you navigate this college recruiting process. All right, I'm going to stop talking. Let's dive in. The new school that's going to be transferring from D2 to Division 1 is the University of West Georgia, and a very exciting time for them over the next year, and especially when they're jumping in 2024. That's the transition where they will be a Division 1 team. They're going to be entering the Atlantic Sun Conference, a good mid-major conference. It's very competitive. It has schools like Florida Gulf Coast, Stetson, Jacksonville, my alma mater, Kennesaw State, a lot of good teams there as well. And we're going to take a look at them here in the Premier Athletes platform and app where you guys can check this out. So this is the Premier Athletes where you have all the schools, all the college coaches. You can find college matches. You can have a recruiting assistant here. You can have a playbook where I walk you step by step through it. But let's go on and find some more information about West Georgia. So we're going to go on and search for schools up here. It's very easy, West Georgia, and there they are there. So they're about an hour west of Atlanta. To kind of give you a visual, you could take a look at their map here. We could track our progress with them if we're interested. We could save it to our school list. We have all the school information here, to their questionnaire, to coach's information. So Coach Smith over there at West Georgia, an exciting time for him as well, from D2 now to a Division I coach, to their recruiting coordinator. We can contact these college coaches here within the Premier Athletes app. We can see the athletic standards that they're going to be looking for, school information. So let's dive into this. So they have about 11,000 total undergrads. So they're a bigger Division II school. And now, of course, they're going to Division I, which is a good mid-size. In-state's about 6,500. Out-of-state is about 17,000 as we go. Average GPA is about a 3.16. Their acceptance rate's around 70% as we go. So this is just a good little profile. Every school has a profile like this in the Premier Athletes app. So guys, definitely check out the University of West Georgia as they make this transition over to Division I. All right, let's get into the 2023 college baseball recruiting class rankings. Before we dive into these, I want to talk about how does Perfect Game rank these teams? How do they go about this process? So I'm going to read this off for you guys so you can have a better understanding, and then there's even more of a caveat to this. So the Perfect Game college recruiting rankings are based on PG's Cross-Checkers National High School Player Ranking. Colleges are given points for each recruit based on their recruit's current high school rankings. The rankings are updated with each added college commitment to our database, as well as updates to our national high school player rankings. Currently, junior college recruits are not factored into the rankings. Another caveat to this, to each individual class. So the rankings aren't final until the players actually step on campus. So a lot of these teams commit players, but then they get drafted and they don't actually become part of the team because they go and play in the minor leagues. So they wouldn't count. So for example, Max Clark in the 2023 class was one of the top players. He was committed to Vanderbilt, okay? But he got drafted, I think, second overall. So he is not included into these rankings because he didn't make it to campus. He didn't join the team, if you will. All right. So Recruits that are nationally ranked 1 through 50 get 15 points. The school gets 15 points if they show up on campus. 51 to 100, 12 points. 101 to 150 is 10 points, and so on, all the way down to even high follows, which is 1 point all the way through, okay? So with that said, we're going to dive into more numbers about this. Let's take a look. So number 1, UCLA, and number 2, Arkansas. And again, number 1 for the 2023 recruiting class is UCLA, of all of the players that showed up on campus and that made it to school. Again, number 2, Arkansas. Number 3, Vanderbilt. Number 4, Tennessee. Number 5, the Gators. Number 6, Texas A&M. Number 7, LSU. I think that's 2 through 7 and now 8, because Texas is going to be in the SEC, and 9 are all SEC teams. 10 is North Carolina. 11 is Texas Tech. Number 12, Louisville. Number 13, Florida State. Number 14, Alabama. Number 15, Auburn. Number 16, Ole Miss, hotty toddy. And number 17, Georgia. 18 is Georgia Tech. 19 in Oregon State. And number 20 is Miami. So fun little kind of stat and ranking here. Honestly, again, not a lot of this means anything, but it's fun to see where they play out, and it just kind of gives you a feel of the caliber of players that are coming into this school and this program wherever they lay out. So let's dive into a little bit more deeper into what all of these are and where they found and how many commitments they have. So in the 2023 class rankings, okay, number 1, UCLA had 15 commits. 5 of them were in the top 100, okay? This was the total amount of points they got, and the average point per player, 8.93. Arkansas had 15 commits, 7 in the top 100, but 129 on as far as points averaged out. Vanderbilt, 18 commits, all right, 2 in the top 100, 126 points. This is really like the points that are showing up, the kids that are showing up to campus, all the way through 21. Texas A&M had the total, the max amount of high school commits here. And this is some stuff we got to be aware of. So these big schools, this is cool and all these big schools in there, but you also need to realize that there is an over-recruitment aspect of this, right? Sometimes they're going to bring on more players than they actually need, and that's where guys start getting pushed out to junior college and even cut in some instances. So you guys need to be aware of this. Just because this is all cool and sexy, these schools, doesn't mean it's always a good fit, even if you could play for them. Just got to be aware of that. Mississippi State was number 20 with the second amount. We have some 19s. What was the lowest? Let's see what the lowest is. I think it is Miami with 12 high school commits there. And then LSU 13. Fantastic. So guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you guys want to see in the comments down below. And if you're interested or need help going through this college recruiting process, just reach out to me. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.